It's time once again to recognize FCS excellence as we present the 2024 FCS National Awards. There's something new with our HBCU Player of the Year. Our Legacy Awards shine once again with our Scholar Athlete Award winner, our FCS Coach of the Year Award winner, the FCS Freshman of the Year, our Most Outstanding FCS Defensive Player, and once again our Most Outstanding FCS Offensive Player. It's all coming up on the 2024 FCS National Awards Show.
Thank you and good evening, everyone, and welcome to Frisco, Texas. Gary Reasons, I'm your host for the evening. You know, myself, I have a great length of history, I think, with the football championship subdivision. I played at Northwestern State. I was a proud Northwestern State Demon and played at the subdivision level, and boy, it really did a good job for me. So I was the first ever three-time All-American at the FCS level, Division I AA back then, how they labeled it. It really had a lot of success. Went into the National Football League and played with a great group of guys in New York with the New York Giants, won a couple of championships. So I've been able to benefit from a great college career that started at my collegiate days and turned that into a life of football. I played for 9 years in the NFL, and when I stepped out of the game, I stepped into the broadcast booth. I became a college football TV analyst, and I've been doing that for the past 30 years. It's been a lot of pleasure for me to be a part of these events here. I've been here in Frisco every year that this event has been here as the host or MC of the event, even back to when Mickey Charles had the awards and Stats Perform was just getting into the game. We'll talk more about Stats Perform and their relationship with these awards here in just a moment. But you know, for me, it's something that I really take to heart, and I really enjoy being a part of this because this is my roots. This is kind of where I've come from, and I have the same experiences I know as a lot of these young players have had throughout the course of their college careers. One of the things that we've done over the last couple of seasons is we had created a program called FCS on Campus. And literally it's where I go out on campus every single week of the college football season, and I get a chance to award a team or a player of the week on that campus, and I do so in front of the team, and it's really, really special to be able to make that presentation because I know each of those young men that I address and I talk to, and I share some little bit of history and story about some of the things that have occurred with me, and I pass on that knowledge. It's really transformational, and when I see these guys and how they react, and really with Stats Perform, it's something that I think that their culture that we've developed as far as shining a brighter spotlight on FCS football is really what it all comes down to, and really it's really something that we need to be able to, you know, to continue to grow. We'll talk about some of the things that Stats Perform does, including the top 25 poll, which I think is the best poll across the FCS landscape, and we get a lot of things right, I think, with that poll, and it's been a lot of fun to be a part of that. You know, Craig Haley and I do our podcast. It's called FCS Delivered every single week, and we're about to get to, what is it, Craig? Number 30 here. Is that 30? It's pretty much, I think, the one we're going to hit. But if you haven't had a chance to check that out, do check it out on FCS Delivered. We can find us on YouTube and also on our other social media platforms. So it's really a lot of fun to be a part every single week at the FCS level because there's something that's happening that is special. And when you have that ability to go out and share with these young men and talk to them and make mention of what they've done, it is truly special. With our weekly awards that we started last year doing so, every this season with our honorable mentions at our Players of the Week from an offense, defense, special teams, our HBCU Player of the Week, our HBCU Team of the Week, and National FCS Team of the Week, we recognize and honorable mention over the course of the season about 375 different young men and teams. So it's really pretty cool to be able to have that much reach of what we do every single season, to be able to share with that about all these guys. So we have this would give me a good opportunity to toss it over to my co-host for this evening and introduce her. Her name is Kendra Sheehan. She is with the UAC. She is a media person for them, a media director, and she does a little bit of her own thing. Kicking It with Kendra is one of her podcasts that she does, and she talks to athletes on air and really does a great job. Welcome, Kendra, and she's got a special guest from Stats Perform.
Thank you so much, Gary, and thank you all for letting me be here on such an important night. And I have here Brian Orifice, who is the Vice President of Product for Stats Perform, and you guys have such a long-standing partnership. Tell me a little bit about how this began with Stats Perform and the FCS National Awards.
Thank you, Kendra. One of my favorite nights of the year. This is the 10th season that Stats Perform has actually hosted the awards here, and obviously the history of the FCS goes back a lot longer than that. And the way that this originated was back in 2015. Stats Perform acquired the Sports Network, and as we were doing some due diligence around that acquisition, you know, there was one asset essentially that was a little bit different from what we typically do. And for those that don't know, you know, this is a little bit out of our, you know, out of our typical core competency, right? We're historically a data collection company. We've really turned into just as much of a technology company, you know, over the past couple of years as well, to contextualize that data. But when we were in the midst of having these conversations with the Sports Network back in the day, and I met with Craig and Phil, we talked about this FCS thing, and you know, some of the folks above me were like, "Oh, we don't need to do that." And as a former FCS player myself, Columbia back in the mid '90s, I said, "Hang on, that's not going to happen under my watch." And really keeping alive these just amazing legacies that predate me, and being a custodian of these awards was really a passion project, frankly, you know. And every year over the course of the past 10 years, we've tried to, you know, to make a little bit of a step up, and you know, this is the culmination of that, from taking on those awards to keeping the namesakes to doing some of the things that Gary just talked about. Over the past couple of years, we've brought on some great sponsors in FedEx and Urban Edge Network, and really love collaborating with those folks. And I think we've put together something really great here, and really to be able to shine a light. It really is for the FCS community, the players, the coaches, to be able to shine that national spotlight on the subdivision.
And you've been to several of these awards banquets. You've gotten to hear a lot of these guys' stories. How impactful is that for you in terms of working for Stats Perform and getting to learn about all of these up-and-coming wonderful players?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly impactful. You know, I feel like, you know, the things that make a great athlete, or a great coach, you know, a great coach, these are some of the things that we try to replicate, you know, from a business perspective. And it really is a family. I mean, just to give a quick story here, you know, Jerry is here, and you know, Jerry flew in this morning at 7:30 in the morning, and Jerry's going to go back, you know, tonight right after the banquet. And the commitment, you know, that he has to do that is incredible, and it speaks to, you know, how passionate he is about that, and that's a passion that we try to replicate with Stats Perform. You know, Walter Buchanan, you talk about milestones, it's 10 years for us, but 30 years for the Buck Buchanan Award. And when I had mentioned to Georgia I really wanted to have her out here to be able to present the Buchanan Award, she jumped on it in a second. And despite the fact that Georgia may look like she's 30 years old, you know, for her to be to be able to have that type of initiative to get out here and do this is just fantastic. And we just hope that we do the legacy of those awards and the FCS service through things like this.
Well, Brian, thank you so much for being here. Gary, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Thank you very much, Brian. Good job, Kendra. Hey, I also wanted to give a little quick recap on the FCS on campus and where we went this season. Take a look. 13 universities. We traveled 30,000 miles this season, and I'm booking Jerry Rice miles. He's getting almost more miles than Jerry there, so he's all around it. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about one of our newest awards. The newest award that we have is our HBCU Player of the Year National Award. Stay with us. Welcome back to the FCS National Award Show, and I tell you, it's pretty impressive here because we have a new partner, and the new partner is Urban Edge Network, and this is a very remarkable company because of what they're doing in the marketplace, bringing sports and sports content to universities, in particular HBCU universities, and I'm pleased to be joined now by the Chief Operating Officer of Urban Edge Network, is Mr. Hardy Pelt, and he is one of the founders of the company. Hardy, tell me a little bit about Urban Edge Network and the genesis of it and really what it is right now.
Well, first of all, thank you to everyone for allowing us to be a part of such a fantastic event. Urban Edge Network is a 24-hour streaming network that was specifically created to allow HBCUs to now partake in the media budgets of brands and advertising. I remember one of the first conversations I had with one of the agencies. They controlled about $50 billion in advertising. And they said, I said, why aren't you spending money with the HBCUs? It's not a secret. Black folks spend about $1.8 trillion every year. So why aren't y'all throwing money at these HBCUs? And the lady looked at me and she said, because we don't have a way to buy it. She said, think of it as though a grocery store that has a big Grambling on top of it, and I walk in to buy something and there's nothing on the shelves. And I went, what? So if you don't have online video, display ads, you don't own your content, they have no way of running a commercial and it can't be measured. Now here's the crazy part. Not only was it happening at HBCUs, it's happening at a lot of the FCS schools because you don't have the $1 billion ESPN contract. You don't have the big Fox Sports contract. But you do have an audience. In fact, your fans are more loyal than most other fans. I told somebody the other day, now I went to UCF and Purdue, but if I went to South Carolina State and you say something negative about South Carolina State and an alumni standing behind you, they'll probably shiv you in the back because they're that loyal. So that, from a consumer perspective, is gold, that loyalty factor, and we've created a streaming network that is here to design to make sure that these HBCUs are always financially viable, particularly now with the NCAA making all these crazy rules and it's kind of everybody's throwing money on the walls. We want to make sure we're able to participate as well.
Well, very good. You took an approach to be involved with Stats Perform, and it has paid dividends to you and to your brand. Talk about what the relationship is and kind of how that started, and really what were your goals when you wanted to create the National HBCU Player of the Year?
Yeah, so in most cases, as you all know, I didn't know, I was coming from the MBA side of business, a lot of the content that is available in the HBCU space was never measured. So how many viewers do you have? What are the stats? How many completions? All those things that are all content related where people are tuning in. And when they're tuning in to get that information, now they're measured as an impression. Am I making sense? Okay, see the heads going so I can make sure I'm not talking too fast. But once it becomes an impression, that's monetizable because that's what the brand wants. How many impressions can I get in front of someone? So don't ever let anybody tell you that because you're at Montana State that you're less valuable than the University of Florida. In fact, you're more valuable because if I can reach that specific customer that's going to buy that Snickers bar, they'll spend more money with you than anybody else. Still making sense? So the HBCUs were an untapped market because no one paid them any attention. Everybody forgot about an entire market of folks, and then we just gave them a way to actually buy it, monetize it, and give money back to the schools so they can now participate in improving their facilities, recruitment budgets. This NIL thing, I need an attorney to talk about that, but this is getting crazy. But now they have a viable option, economically to compete in the marketplace just like anyone else.
Well, let's talk specifically about the Player of the Year award. And when you talk with Stats Performer, you really wanted to bring a little prominence and recognition
Yes.
to these student athletes.
Yes.
And that's really what we're about, and that's what this thing has done all season long.
Yes.
Talk about the reaction from the HBCU schools about being involved with Stats Perform and how well the HBCU Player of the Week and Teams of the Week have gone so far.
I was totally shocked, y'all. As smart as I claim to be in this business, I did not think it would take off like it did. But once the marketplace was able to see themselves recognized on a national stage, they begin to gravitate to it, grab it, begin to promote it on their own as a recruitment tool to let folks know, hey, you can come to South Carolina State and be an Eric Phoenix, or you can come to a Grambling and be recognized at a national level. It has been a phenomenon that has taken over the HBCU space, and we can't be more proud to be a part of it.
Well, very good, very good. Let us get on to presenting this award here. So let me tell you, there were 10 finalists that were named the Urban Edge Network inaugural HBCU Plus Player of the Year, and it was among the 21 HBCU universities that play FCS college football. All of them had opportunities to be awarded, and this was selected amongst an 8-member voter panel. And here's an introduction of our winner this season and some of the highlights from his tremendous season.
This season's recipient of the inaugural HBCU Plus National Player of the Year Award, presented by Urban Edge Network, is grad student Eric Phoenix from South Carolina State. Under head coach Chennis Berry, Phoenix was the MEAC Conference Offensive Player of the Year selection as he amassed 2,603 yards passing and 20 touchdowns against only 8 interceptions. He completed 63% of his passes for the Bulldogs and also rushed for 242 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Congratulations to Eric Phoenix as this season's HBCU Plus National Player of the Year Award winner.
Congratulations, Eric. You are the inaugural HBCU Plus National Player of the Year. How do you sum up this final season where you took your team to a MEAC championship and, of course, all the personal accolades that you took home as well?
First and foremost, I want to thank God. Without him, none of this would be possible. I want to thank my family who's here now at table 10. I thank my coaches, Coach Barry. I want to thank everybody who helped me get in this position. We just had a good team, had a good mindset, and we just paid the fee every day. And that's how we became MEAC champs. And I just want to thank everybody who helped me get this award. Couldn't have done it by myself.
Of course, you started your college career with your current head coach, Chennis Berry, when he was the head coach over at Benedict College. Why was he such a big believer in your ability that gave you the confidence to go out there and throw for over 2,600 yards this season?
He said the first time he seen me throw, he said he knew I was going to be the guy, and he just trusted me, and we just had a good relationship as we talked, go over plays. He knows that I understand the playbook and that I understand football, so it's just a good bond, and we got it done.
Got it done. And of course, you also have entered yourself in the 2025 NFL Draft. What is one thing that you want scouts to know about you that they can't see on the tape?
That I go hard every play, I put my body on the line for my teammates, and I'm a winner. So that's Eric Phoenix.
Congratulations once again on the award, and Gary, I'll pass it back to you.
Yes, congratulations, Eric. You've done a great job on the field. Hey, we got a little bit of business still to do here. Hardy, you want to do the honors here?
Yeah, I want to make sure that from now on, when you see this championship belt, that not only are you a champion in life,
stand up here, Mr.
a
Eric.
champion
Let's go.
in sports, but a champion
Pull it around,
forever.
young man. Wow. The first ever belt handed out at the Stats Perform National Award Show. Congratulations to Eric Phoenix. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to present our Scholar Athlete Award winner. Stay with us. Welcome back to the 2024 FCS National Award Show. And hey, we're going to talk about our Scholar Athlete Award, which is so important because we're talking about a student athlete in the classroom, in the community, and also on the playing field. So that is something to behold. It is really a tremendous honor when you're able to think about that. So when you think about the Doris Robinson Award and really what goes into that, it's all about the legacy of the namesake. Ms. Doris really had a tremendous run. Her and her husband, Eddie, did that coaching profession. He did the coaching profession. We'll talk about him in a little while. Over 56 years at one university in Grambling, and she was there as an educator right by his side. And she left a lasting impression on many young people, and it's a great legacy for the entire family. So I'd like to toss it over to Kendra because she is with a special guest from the Robinson family, Ms. Cherie Kirkland. Take it away, Kendra.
Thank you, Gary, and thank you, Cherie, for being here, the granddaughter of Doris Robertson. And you know, why is it so important for you to be here and continue the legacy of your grandmother?
Yes, first of all, my grandfather always said, one job, one school, one wife. So he never went anywhere or accepted an award, did a speech without mentioning Doris Robinson. So it's really special that Stats Perform and FedEx would honor her in this way. It's a great testament to their relationship, their marriage, a journey they took from middle school. They actually met in middle school and courted until they got married. So this is a great testament to the fact that both of them are namesakes to an award today.
And for those of us who didn't know Doris like you did, can you share a little bit about what made her so special?
So many things. For all of you that knew Eddie Robinson or knew of Eddie Robinson, he ran his career, but he did not run that household. It was all about Doris Robinson. So all of us looked to her for leadership, for guidance, and he did too. He was the first person that he looked for, after a game, a win or a loss. She was there for everything for him. And education was key in our household. It was never a question about whether we would go to college. It was about where you're going, because not all of us went to Grambling, where you were going and what you would study. So that was a thing for us, and she was very big on education as an educator herself. She'd be very proud of Juan and all the work that he's doing in his community and in the classroom.
That's one of the things I love about this award. It doesn't just go with what you do on the field, but it's those off-field accomplishments and players really getting involved with their communities. How impactful has it been for you to be able to learn these player stories and the values that your grandmother held so close to her?
I think Stats gets it right every year. Every year I'm enamored with the scholar athlete that they choose. They're such wonderful people to get to know. And in reading their bios and hearing their videos and seeing them, on the screen and on the field, I just think she would be so proud to have them represent her too.
Well, Cherie, thank you so much for joining us. And Gary, I'll toss it back to you.
Thank you very much, Cherie. You're a great ambassador for your family, and always glad to have you here with us again. Hey, I'm pleased to be joined now from a special guest from FedEx, Rodney Myers, who's a vice president in the Human Resources Department with FedEx. And, this aligns well, the Doris Robinson Scholar Athlete Award, with some of the initiatives at FedEx. Rodney, welcome, and tell us about how this aligns with what FedEx's goals are.
Well, Gary, thank you so much for the opportunity. FedEx, as you know, we are leaders in the transportation, supply chain, and technology space with over 500,000 employees around the globe, 220 countries and territories. And you think about that, there's a lot of diversity, a lot of differences there that come together, but we unite around one goal, and that's the Purple Promise, to make every FedEx experience outstanding. That's our guiding principle.
Well, that's pretty awesome to have that. And when you start talking about student athletes and their recognition, what is important about that to FedEx?
Well, as a company, we want to do anything we can to help promote the next generation. One of the things we do is through our careers in connecting people and possibilities. When you think about, as a company, the foundations that we can do in business acumen and as well as operations, it fits so well with what FCS is doing as well.
Well, it's a great brand of football, as you know, and my college teammate John Smith is the CEO. He's been here the past couple of events with Carlos Etheridge, the Senior Vice President of Human Resources for FedEx, and unfortunately they couldn't get here, but glad they sent you, Rodney, and you're a great ambassador for the brand. And lastly, you know, are you a fan of the FCS level, and are you following this championship game?
I am tonight.
He is. We have made a fan of him. Congratulations for what you do with us, and thank you very much. And now I'd like to start to present this national award for this winter. This season's award was selected from 13 Doris Robinson Award finalists, and one from each conference. They're all involved in Division I subdivision level. And here are some of the brief highlights to announce this year's award winner.
This season's recipient of the FedEx Doris Robinson Scholar Athlete Award is senior punter and place kicker Juan Velarde from North Carolina Central. Under head coach Trent Oliver, Velarde was a first-team All-MEAC selection with a 44.8-yard punting average, and as a kicker, Juan scored 58 points for the Eagles. In the classroom, Velarde excels with a 4.0 average as he is in pursuit of a master's in business administration. In the community, Juan is a member of the National Society of Leadership and Success and has graciously served over 200 hours of community service. Congratulations to Juan Velarde as this season's FedEx Doris Robinson Scholar Athlete Award winner.
Congratulations, Juan. We'll get to talk in just a second, but first I want everyone to be able to see how you found out about being the award winner with this FedEx moment.
Hey, I got something I want to share with you, man. You know, I've been telling you this is going to be all about special teams, but really, Juan, I want you to know something. It's all about you, buddy, because you are special. You have been selected as the 2024 FedEx Doris Robinson FCS Scholar Athlete of the Year.
What an awesome video. I mean, Juan, take me through that moment, being on the podcast with Gary and finding out that you are the FedEx Doris Robinson Scholar Athlete Award winner.
Of course. First of all, let me take this moment real quick to thank my family and everybody from the NCCU staff that wouldn't be able to do it without them. And thank you to Stats Perform and to FedEx for being the #1 sponsor. Yeah, this was a great moment for my life, and it was just a lot of dreams come true, because when you go to North Carolina Central University, our motto is truth and service, right? We don't, me and I'm pretty sure the other 12 finalists for this award, we don't do this for the recognition, right? But it's really nice when you get recognized at this national level, that they're looking at you and they're seeing what you're doing, not just in the field, in the community, and the classroom as well. So it was a great moment. I don't get speechless a lot, but that moment I was, because I was a finalist for the past 15 years. So I mean, I was really excited to finally win it. So thank you.
Juan, your story really is so inspiring. You came to the United States from Peru. You didn't speak any English. You didn't start playing high school football until you were a junior. Now, fast forward, you're a Division I athlete. You have a 4.0 in business administration. How do you even describe this college football journey that you've been on?
You said a lot, and it's been nothing but amazing, right? Thanks to God, first of all, put it in front of everything, and it's been nothing that really put in hard work do pay off, right? So what I mean is, nothing can be done with hard work and then dedication and all of that, and that's proven through my story, that you can do anything you decide and put your life into, your goals, your dedication, and so it's been nothing but amazing. I got to thank, of course, Coach Oliver, because I wasn't highly recruited out of high school. Like you said, there was I started playing my junior year at high school, so I got to thank him and then North Carolina Central University and my family, of course, for putting me in that position that I was able to obtain a scholarship to go play there, and for believing in me, and it's just been nothing but amazing at North Carolina Central University.
Your father was the one who always told you to have a purpose, and you have certainly found your purpose within the Durham community, speaking to multiple schools, speaking with younger Hispanic students. What is the message that you want to send to those kids?
That just if I did it, they can do it too. Like, you just mentioned my story, a little bit of it, and it's like when I go to these middle schools, these high schools, a lot of their parents don't speak any English like my parents do. They speak little, right? So it's like putting them and seeing them in me so that they can do things like I do. But not just Hispanic kids, but in general, every kid that the dreams can be accomplished. If I did it, a kid that didn't speak no English, that then started playing football in their junior year at high school, and if Stutz Perform can help me with this, but that is not many high school students that go to play Division I. Imagine a kid that didn't speak no English ended up going to play Division I school and, of course, being a national champion. So that just proves that you can do whatever you want as long as you do the right purpose in life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Juan. Once again, we really appreciate you being here and all that you have done for the community.
Thank you.
Gary, back to you.
Wow, congratulations, Juan. And to Juan's parents, in Spanish, mis padres, mucho feliz, ¿sí? Okay, very happy, very happy. They told me that earlier tonight. I learned a little bit of Spanish, it's okay. Juan, congratulations on the award, and you're gonna be a great ambassador for the award. Hey, we're gonna take a quick break here. When we come back, we're gonna start talking about leadership at the college football level as we present our FCS Coach of the Year award. Well, welcome back to Frisco, Texas, as we continue with our award show, and this is one of the more pleasurable, parts of the evening for me because I like to talk about the coaches. Coaches are what really make players tick, and when you talk about the legendary Eddie Robinson and his stellar career, which spanned 56 years as a head coach at the same one university, Grambling State University, that's just mind-blowing. And to achieve 408 victories in that time is really, really remarkable. More than anything, what really I like about this award is, and talking about Coach Rob, is how he has impacted players for so many years. And it is really something that's pleasurable for me to talk about. And I'm very pleased to be joined now by a longtime friend of our vet, Quentin Burrell, great grandson of Eddie Robinson. And Quentin, you're now a coach at Southern. You've been in the coaching game a little while. And you and I were talking before here in the cocktail hour that it's kind of amazing when you look at the body of work that your great-grandfather did, and now you're into that world. Talk about what it means to really put that work in the grind.
I tell you what, it's first and foremost, it's an honor and a humbling deal for me and my family. Because just for stats to continue to push my great-grandfather and my great-grandmother's namesake means a lot to our family. But when you specifically talking to my grandfather, for doing something for 56 years, like we were speaking to earlier, it's almost unprecedented now because it's amount of, especially being a coach now, takes an extreme amount of sacrifice, from families, just try to instill the right things for your guys to continue to do the right things both on and off the field. And I think it's just a testament to just the work that, not only my great-grandfather did, but just the impact that he made on just not only me, but just coaches around the country to just try to get guys going in the right direction.
I'm sure you've had a chance to peruse through quite a bit of family memorabilia and things and conversations amongst the family members. What are some of the things that everyone talks about in your family about Coach Rob and some of his principles and how he would instruct and coach and teach players?
Well, I believe the most important thing was, is just the amount of work that he did on a day in and day out basis, just to try to get guys, like you said, just to see the bigger picture. At some point in time, he always used to say that football is going to go flat. And, the principles and the foundational things that you learn from the game of football, he tried to instill in you to make sure that you prepared that for your life after football. And I think that was one of the biggest things from him, was just the amount of work that you have to put in on a day in and day out basis, just to kind of be successful in life after football.
He has a remarkable career, 56 years, as we've talked about. Talk about the amount of talking and coaching with many players as he has, probably thousands. Talking about what it means to them in their lives.
Well, I think that now that I'm coaching, you really realize the impact that he's made is just from just guys figuring out, okay, oh, that's Coach Rob's grandson. You know, they always want to ask, questions about things of the nature of what he did. And I tell them all the time, the one thing that he always did was just, he made you see the bigger picture when you didn't see it, probably as a player. And alongside with that, just the amount of work that you have to put in just to give yourself a chance. Just like, with Coach, them getting ready for a championship game now, wins are not easy, and for him to be undefeated and getting ready to go for a championship, that's an amazing feat itself. And I'm pretty sure with the program that he has, it's taking an extreme amount of sacrifice, an extreme amount of work, and paying attention to detail. And those are some of the same core values that my great-grandfather instilled in me and also his former players.
Well, that's tremendous, and we all take to heart what Coach Rob has said and really what he was all about. It's really impressive. So we're going to present this award here. The 2024 Stats Perform Eddie Robinson Award was first presented in 1987. This is the 38th season of this event, of this award, and it is named after the legendary coach from Grambling, Eddie Robinson. And there were 15 FCS coaches named as finalists for the award, which is presented annually to the National Coach of the Year in Division I FCS college football. And this year's winner was selected among 15 finalists by a national voting panel. So here are some brief highlights to announce this year's award winner.
This season's recipient of the Stats Perform Eddie Robinson Award is Brent Vegan of Montana State. Vegan, in his fourth season as head coach of the Bobcats, has led the team this season to a program record 15-game win streak, a number 1 national ranking, a number 1 playoff seed, Big Sky Conference championship, and was selected as the Big Sky Conference Coach of the Year. Following a perfect 3-0 playoff run, Vegan's team has now earned a berth in the FCS National Championship game. Congratulations to Brent Vegan as this season's FCS Eddie Robinson Award winner.
Coach Vegan, thank you so much for being here. We know you're in town for the national championship on Monday, and you're the first coach from Montana State to take home this award, and the team's journey isn't over as you will play for that national championship game on Monday. What goes into building a team that is 15-0, the only undefeated team in college football right now?
Well, it starts with a great bunch of young men that have poured everything they could, worked together so hard, believe in one another, love one another, and each week find a way and go back and do it all over again. So our consistency's been unbelievable this year, and we need to do it one more time.
Your father, Randy, was a Hall of Fame coach, and so you truly grew up around the game. What were some of the values that you learned from him that you utilize in your coaching career now?
Well, I think it starts with how you treat the young men you coach. I happen to be one of those young boys, I suppose, that he coached back in the day. So, treat them fairly. Really embody hard work. Do everything you can to put them in position to do well on the field, but then moreover, just become the young man you want them to become. And we try to do that on a daily basis, and we've been pretty fortunate with that at Montana State.
You have your quarterback, Tommy Mawad here, who's up for the Walter Payton Award, and you've coached numerous young men that have gone on to play at the next level or enter the real world and take other jobs. What are some of the biggest values that you hope that they've taken away and also have been able to keep in touch and learn about their stories as well?
Well, I think the game of football is such an education for young men. I think the hard work, the teamwork, overcoming adversity, all those things go into any given one's experience. And, I've been really fortunate to work with a lot of great players, work with a lot of great coaches, families, my family in particular, that supported us over and over again. It's a challenging profession, but it's so rewarding, and like a lot of coaches say, they never worked a day in their lives, and that's kind of how I feel. So, this is a great honor to be bestowed an honor that has Coach Robinson's name. Clearly one of the greatest coaches of all time is something, and to represent Montana State, I'm so proud.
Congratulations, Coach. Best of luck on Monday, and I'll toss it back to Gary.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Kendra. Congratulations, Coach Vegan. And good luck to you in the national championship game. We know it's going to be a tremendous effort that we'll see out there. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to present our FCS Freshman Player of the Year Award. Stay with us. Welcome back to the 2024 FCS National Award Show, and hey, it really is a pleasure now to be able to join up here on stage with an NFL Hall of Famer. Hey, I'm talking about Jerry Rice. Well, we're going to talk about the Freshman Player of the Year Award, and our namesake is here in the building. Welcome, Jerry Rice, everybody.
Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Jerry, you are a great ambassador, one of FCS football, really a football of all levels, with your remarkable 20-plus year in the NFL, with all of your stuff that you did at Mississippi Valley State.
Are you trying to age me or something? You're telling everyone that I'm old?
You're just about like me. We're close.
Okay, we're close. How old are you?
I'm not answering that. No, we played against each other, and that's all you need to know.
You remember that?
I couldn't tackle you. I couldn't catch you.
That's the purpose of it.
That's the purpose.
I run fast, so you can't catch me.
Remember you caught that ball and ran out of Giant Stadium?
Oh, yeah, that was a winning touchdown.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
Oh, yeah, of course I'm going to remember days like that. Yeah, someone, I think a coach from North Dakota said something about me. I fumbled a football against the Packers. Huh. I think you might need to seek counseling or something like that. You need to get over that, okay?
All right,
I don't know what you're talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm pointing right at you.
No personal
good
stuff
luck.
here.
Good
No
luck.
personal
Okay.
stuff here.
Okay.
We got to take care of business here, Jerry.
Okay,
so
let's go.
Hey, so this is what was this? This is now the 25 finalists. This is the 14th season
14th. Yeah, can
of
you
the
believe
Jerry
that?
Rice Award. Talk about what that means and really what kind of it's been the effect that it's had on you.
You know what, guys? This really means a lot, and that's the reason why I try to come back every year. And for everyone that have been a part of this, that have passed on, that's to come, I feel like it's important for me to come here and show my face and let these athletes know that, I really believe in them, and also that, I'm supporting them 100%. So that's the reason why I come back every year, and plus, I always have to come back and I have to see my girl, Georgia.
Love it, love it. Love it. He can sing, he can dance,
No,
he
I
can
can't
play
sing.
football.
No, I can't sing.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
cut
okay.
out the singing. Hey, let me ask you specifically about two players who are former Jerry Rice Award winners. Talking about Shedeur Sanders and
Right.
Cam Ward, potentially a #1 draft pick in the NFL. How proud are you to have those two guys symbolic of what the Jerry Rice Award is all about?
Well, with us, Shedeur Sanders, I think he has an opportunity where he's going to probably land maybe with the Raiders or maybe with the Cowboys. And what he has done for Colorado, but also I got to give it props to his dad, because I feel like with Deion Sanders, what he's doing, he's building men. And it's not just about football players and all of that. So, then I had Trey Lance, back in the day. Now I have Marty, and Marty, he's a workhorse, man. I think he really represents the Jerry Rice Award the right way, because it's all about hard work and dedication, not taking any shortcuts or anything like that, and being a great leader on the football field.
Those are great attributes, and those that, most teammates would like to have a guy next to him lining up like that. What keeps you busy these days? You're always on commercials and everything. What else?
I'm the
what else
GOAT.
is
I'm
new?
the greatest of all time, baby. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, but seriously, you guys are all GOATs. I really appreciate you guys coming here, being a part of this. And man, anybody that would have told me that after being out of the game, and I retired in 2005, and to be really still wanted, it means the world to me, because when I go through airports, people still, they want to take pictures. If I'm anywhere, they recognize me and they want a signature or something like that. Think about that, guys. I mean, I've been out of the game ever since 2005, and you still got people wanting to take pictures, autographs, and just to say hello. So I'm having the time of my life, and anytime I can give back, and it's great being here, at this award and stuff like that, and it means the world to me.
Well, great. Congratulations on that. I'm glad you're here. Love to have you coming back. And you've got a tremendous award that we need to present here. This season, Jerry, 25 FCS finalists were named for the Jerry Rice Award, which honors the National Freshman Player of the Year at Division I FCS level.
And it was close.
It was close.
It was close because when you think about, North Dakota State, you think about Marty, I think it was like 183. I think with Montana State, it was like 178, the voting. So it was really close.
There is some close votes,
but yes. I think we got the right guy.
All right. Now, this Jerry Rice Award is now in its 14th season, as we've talked about, and obviously named after the legendary Hall of Famer Jerry Rice here, who had cut his teeth at the FCS level of Mississippi Valley State. Past recipients of this award include guys like Cooper Kupp, Chase Edmonds, Trey Lance, just to name a few, and those to come, as we talked about, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward. Well, here are some highlights to share about this year's winner. Okay.
This season's recipient of the Stats Perform Jerry Rice Award is running back Sharmar Brown from North Dakota State. Under head coach Tim Polasek, Brown has enjoyed a standout freshman campaign for the Bison as he rushed for 1,104 yards and 14 touchdowns, along with 5 receptions for 54 yards. Brown was named the MVFC Freshman of the Year and also to the Stats Perform Freshman All-America team. Congratulations to Sharmar Brown as this season's Stats Perform Jerry Rice Award winner.
Marty, as your friends and family call you, you're with Jerry Rice here on stage, the legend himself, and he just talked about some of your abilities, how hardworking you are, your leadership. What does that mean to hear that from the mouth of Jerry Rice as you get this award?
It means a lot, just think about like when I was a kid, always just staying down and being consistent in football, PUE, and high school until now. It's just crazy to see how fast this stuff comes and everything just coming full circle.
This season, you led all FCS freshmen in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, and after having to sit out all of last year, how did you come in this year and have such an explosive freshman campaign?
First of all, it started with God, and then to my coaches, Coach Landry, Coach Polasek, they came in, they believed in me early. They seen light in me that I probably didn't see in myself at the time. Coming into this season, I really just wanted to contribute. I didn't think about stats or none of that. I just wanted to contribute to my team, and that's how I took it, and wanted to show up every day and do everything I can for the team. So.
Not a lot of freshmen can say this, but you have the chance to win a national championship come Monday, representing the Bison here. How has your coaching staff and your football career prepared you to be able to shine on one of the biggest stages?
Well, our core values is compete and prove toughness, so we got to show up and do that every day. So it's nothing to get here and play in this big stage, because we've done it so many times with the standard, our university. We've been here our 11th time now, so it's crazy.
Well, best of luck to you on Monday, and congratulations once again on winning this award.
Thank you.
Gary, I'll send it back to you.
Well, congratulations, Marty. You're very deserving of this award, and thank you, Jerry, for showing up. You sure can.
Okay, Marty, 189 attempts, over 900 yards, 14 touchdowns. That's getting it done.
Getting it done is right.
Yeah.
He's had some added to that in the playoffs, Jerry, so he's well over 1,000 now, so he's still going, and he's got one more game left. Good stuff.
Right.
Well, congratulations. Hey, we're going to take a short break here. When we come back, we're going to start talking about defense as we award our FCS Defensive Player of the Year. Welcome back to the FCS National Award Show. Hey, it is time to talk defense, something I'm a little passionate about, playing defensive football. But I'll tell you what, when we talk about a namesake at the defensive level here at the FCS, you start talking about Buck Buchanan, there's none better. Tell you, what a great namesake and a legacy award for Buck Buchanan to have this. And this is the 30th season of the Buck Buchanan Award, and it is a tremendous honor for any of the award recipients for this award, and really all the top finalists that are out there tonight. We have 3 top finalists in the room with us joining us tonight, and I want to introduce each of them, and because they all had tremendous seasons. And I'm going to do a brief introduction here quickly. To my left, from Richmond University, Jeremiah Grant. From Mercer, TJ Moore. And from Central Arkansas, David Walker. These 3 men, they're the top finalists in the Buck Buchanan voting, and we'll unveil that final voting here in just a moment. But I'm joined by a special guest, and this is the wife of the great Buck Buchanan. She's been gone a little while, but she's now back with us, and what a great event to have her come back to. And Miss Buchanan, how have you been? We've been missing you.
Oh, well. But I'm here now.
Okay, hold it a little closer, just a little bit closer.
Okay, you've been missing me, but I'm here back. I'm here now, okay?
Well, when you have Buck Buchanan Award as a defensive player, talking about his legacy and his career, coming out of Grambling State, the #1 draft pick in the AFL, and it's something that he made a tremendous career. He's a prototypical defensive lineman, 6'7", 280 pounds, run like a deer. He ran a 100-yard dash, guys, in 10.2 seconds at that size. He just transformed, really, the defensive tackle position back in the 60s and 70s in the National Football League and in the AFL as well. And it was just a tremendous career that he had. Ms. Buchanan, what would you like to share specifically about Buck to each of these young men that are sitting here with us tonight? Tell us something that they would appreciate in their careers.
The first thing I would like to say, that Buck was an individual. He was very, very kind, but he was a gentle giant. He was known in Kansas City as a gentle giant. He cared about people. He was the kind of individual that if you, well, I have to say, Hank Stram used to always tell this joke about Buck. By him being a defensive player, he would knock the players down and turn around and pick them back up. And Hank Stram would say, Buck, we're paying you to knock them down, not to pick them up. So that's the kind of individual that Buck was. Kansas City really loved Buck Buchanan because he showed Kansas City how much he appreciated them, how much his community, he did everything he could possibly do. Special Olympics was one of his favorite charities. He always did things to try to help the black businessmen in the community. Any kind of charitable organization that needed his help, he was right there for them. And I want to say to you young men, you are all a winner. If you don't get the Buck Buchanan Award tonight, you have it out of my heart. I appreciate you being here, and I thank you for coming, and I thank your parents. And just always remember, if you want to remember something about Buck, remember that he was a great guy. He had speed, he had size, but he was certainly a gentle giant. Thank you.
Yes, he was. Congratulations on that. Ms. Georgia, I want to remind you of something. We first met 30 years ago.
Oh, you have to tell it?
I do have to tell it. Well, It's a great story because it's for a great event. It was in 1994. I was being inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame with some great players: Walter Payton, Buck Buchanan, Terry Bradshaw, among others. We were among the small college players first ever inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame. That's pretty cool. But to have Buck Buchanan posthumously enshrined into the College Football Hall of Fame by Eddie Robinson, do you remember his remarks?
You know, I can say this to you about the Robinson family, and I can't remember all of the remarks that Buck said at that particular time, but I can tell you, Eddie Robinson loved Buck Buchanan, and Buck Buchanan loved Eddie Robinson, and I adored and loved Doris Robinson. We were a family back then. We're still a family. So I can say to any child who've ever attended Grambling or in that vicinity that if they knew the Robinson family, they were going to be all right, because the Robinson family took everybody in who needed anything. Great family.
Well, you got some great tutelage there from Coach Robinson along the way, and I took to heart, at that event, listening to Coach Robinson, and I could understand how he could motivate players from Grambling for all those years. Thank you so much for coming back. It's been a pleasure to have you visit with us, and you shared some things before our segment started here to these young men, and I know they appreciate those comments that you made to them. Let's hear it for Georgia Buchanan, guys.
Thank you.
Stay here. Oh, God. So she's going to stay right here with me, and we're going to show you a quick little highlight here of these three players and what their seasons were like.
Our first top finalist for the Buck Buchanan Award is Jeremiah Grant, a senior defensive end from Richmond. Under head coach Russ Huseman, Grant was named All-CAA Football First Team and a Stats Perform FCS First Team All-American. Through 13 games, he amassed 53 tackles for the Spiders, 19.5 tackles for loss, 13.5 sacks, 8 quarterback hurries, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and 2 pass breakups. Congratulations to Jeremiah Grant for a tremendous senior season. Our next top finalist for the Buck Buchanan Award is senior cornerback TJ Moore from Mercer. Under head coach Mike Jacobs, Moore was selected to the All-Southern Conference First Team Defense and was also named a Stats Perform FCS First Team All-American. Through 14 games, Moore accumulated 64 tackles for the Bears, 1 TFL, 2 quarterback hurries, 7 interceptions, returning 93 yards for a touchdown, and 13 pass breakups. Congratulations to TJ Moore for an outstanding senior season. Rounding out our top finalists for the Buck Buchanan Award is senior defensive end David Walker from Central Arkansas. Walker was selected All-UAC First Team Defense, a Stats Perform FCS First Team All-American, and for the second straight season was selected as the UAC Defensive Player of the Year. Through 12 games, Walker amassed 68 tackles for the Bears, 23 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks, 8 quarterback hurries, 6 pass breakups, and 4 forced fumbles. Congratulations to David Walker on a superb senior season.
All right, guys. Good job out there. So we're going to get down to the business here of awarding this tremendous honor. One of you is going to be the Buck Buchanan Award winner here in just a moment. 35 FCS standout players were named finalists for the Buck Buchanan Award, and Stats Perform had a national voting panel that conducted the vote this year to name this award winner. And the award, obviously, it's named after the legendary Buck Buchanan, who started at Grambling State University, which with his Hall of Fame career, both in the College Football Hall of Fame and the National Football League Hall of Fame. Past winners include Dexter Coakley, Rashean Mathis, Jared Allen, and Arthur Moats. And all 13 FCS conferences were represented as a finalist, and you guys are the top 3. So I'm going to let Ms. Buchanan present the FCS National Defensive Player of the Year, the FCS Buck Buchanan Award. If you'll flip that up and you can read the winner, read what it says all the way through, please.
The 2024 Stats Perform FCS Buck Buchanan Award winner is David Walker, DE. Okay.
David, congratulations on winning this award. You are a 3-time finalist for the Buck Buchanan Award, which just speaks to your tremendous athletic ability shown throughout your college career. But take me through this moment, earning this award and getting a chance to sit next to Georgia Buchanan herself.
It's an honor. I want to first thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him being president of my life, none of this would be possible. And I want to congratulate the finalists. It's a blessing to be here. And I don't know, it's a surreal moment, you know, being the finalist for 3 years, like Juan said, and man, finally winning it, you know. And it's just an honor to be beside her and her husband, Legacy, and it's just an honor to be right named with them.
In 3 seasons at Central Arkansas, you broke 2 school records, career sacks, and tackles for loss. How have you developed your game to be able to read those opposing offenses so quickly and make such remarkable plays?
I give it to the Lord. You know, he's a big part of my life. The scripture that I take hold is Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, do it wholeheartedly for the Lord and not for man. And my coach, man, we spent countless hours. When nobody's watching, we perfecting my craft, working on things that I need to get better at, and it showed.
You told me you want people to remember when in doubt, they can count on David Walker. How does this award embody everything that you strive to be on the football field as well as off the field?
I'll say relentless. You know, a kid coming from a small town with big dreams, and I'm living it out. You know, I just say consistency and hard work really does pays off.
Well, the future is certainly bright for you. Thank you so much, and congratulations once again on the award.
Thank you.
Gary, I'll send it back to you.
Congratulations, David. Well-deserved honor. Congratulations to you guys. You know, being a top finalist is not an easy task, and you guys both rose to the top in that vote. So, hey, this is a tremendous honor and one that's going to be talked about for quite a while, I'm sure, here in the FCS levels, and congratulations, David Walker. When we come back, we're going to start talking about the Offensive Player of the Year in the FCS. Welcome back to the FCS National Award Show, and it's time for our final award of the evening, and that is our most outstanding offensive player across the FCS, and this is the Walter Payton Award, and this is really kind of synonymously talked about as the Heisman of the FCS, so pretty cool event and pretty cool opportunity for these young men. I'm joined in front of the stage here by our 3 top finalists in the voting for the FCS honor, and I'd like to introduce these gentlemen here very quickly, and starting from my left to right alphabetically, it's Tarjee Lamson from Southern Utah. Running back, Tommy Mellott from Montana State. Quarterback. And finally, Cam Miller from North Dakota State. You guys all had tremendous seasons, and you know, also I'm joining now by one of my buddies, Craig Haley, who is Mr. FCS. We're going to talk a little bit about some of these past winners and some of the history of the Walter Payton Award. You know, I competed against Walter, Craig, in the NFL, and I tell you, he was one heck of a competitor. And, you know, you've been a media guy talking about sports and athletes for years. How would you sum up someone like a Walter Payton?
You said it correctly, Gary. I mean, the Heisman at the FCS level, this award is just synonymous with the FCS level, the National Offensive Player of the Year. I think when we think of Walter Payton, we think of that running style, the grace in it, you know, especially when you see highlights that are in slow motion, just his finesse and getting past, and he was a tough player as well, not just finesse, but then the grace, you think about him off the field, you know, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, just what he did for the community. That's what we all aspire for, to be the best person we could be. And I think that is the epitome with Walter Payton on the FCS level, just the complete package.
You know, I've told some stories before to this audience in years past about, you know, playing and competing against Walter and how physical and how tough he would run. And I'll tell you, I was a young player in the NFL trying to tackle the top running back of all time back in the mid 1980s, and it was a tough task to tackle Walter, to get him to the ground. Very physical. And I had one play I remember where I had a sweep to my right as an inside linebacker, easy read, easy tackle, guards pull. I follow the guards, no big deal. I cut up the hole, and I'm going to tackle Walter. He says no. He lowers his shoulder and runs almost through me. I'm grabbing his shirt tail. I'm lucky to get a little cloth there to get him slowed down. I got some help to make that tackle, because not going to bring that man down with that. That was the competitiveness that he displayed as an athlete. And in the locker room, I remember stories about him from his teammates and things about how he would conduct himself. Take us back to Jackson State and really the genesis of what Walter's early journey was like as he began his NFL career, and really where he started at the HBCU level.
Well, Walter was actually a jack of all trades. He was a tremendous punter, and he could pass the ball. You utilize that as well. But as a runner, he was unstoppable. And we saw it once he got to the NFL level as well. But I think Walter Payton just, his ability to not only be his best, to raise his teammates to another level. That is what you want in a football player, and I think that is what we saw at Jackson State, and then we saw in the NFL.
In the years gone by, we've had these award winners come here, and some of them like Steve McNair, Tony Romo, Brian Westbrook, Jimmy Garoppolo, Cooper Kupp, Trey Lance. It's an impressive list. Talk about those guys and really what they mean. This award has meant to them.
Well, they aren't just the greatest players on the FCS level. They are some of the greatest players in football history. And I think their ability to draw a national attention, and it continues, through this day, how football fans see the talent on this level, and it moves up to the next level, the NFL level. So I do think it's just a great level of football, and we've seen some of the greatest players on this level and winning some of these awards like the Walter Payton Award.
Well, thank you, Craig, for all your diligent work, for what you do on the Analyst and all across the FCS, and my podcast co-host here talking about FCS football. If you guys want to listen to it, FCS Delivered, a little plug there. So it's on YouTube and on theanalyst.com. So, hey, just have a lot of fun with that. We're going to take a quick little video look here at these top finalists and how their season went to date right now.
Our first top finalist for the Walter Payton Award is running back Tarji Lampson from Southern Utah. The senior running back was named as the UAC Offensive Player of the Year and as a Stats Perform FCS First Team All-American. Through 11 games for the Thunderbirds, Lampson rushed for 1,922 yards, scored 23 touchdowns, had 11 100-yard games, and averaged 160 rush yards per game. He also tallied 5 receptions for 43 yards. Congratulations to Tarji Lampson for a terrific senior season. Our next top finalist for the Walter Payton Award is senior quarterback Tommy Mellott from Montana State. Under head coach Brent Vegan, last season's FedEx Doris Robinson Scholar Athlete Award winner was named the 2024 Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year and is a Stats Perform FCS First Team All-American. Through 15 games, Tommy has passed for 2,564 yards and 29 touchdowns with only 2 interceptions. He also has rushed for 915 yards and 14 touchdowns while leading the Bobcats to a berth in the FCS National Championship game. Congratulations to Tommy Mellott for an outstanding senior season. Finishing out our top finalists for the Walter Payton Award is senior quarterback Cam Miller from North Dakota State. Under head coach Tim Polasek, Miller was named the MVFC Offensive Player of the Year and a Stats Perform First Team All-American. Through 15 games for the Bison, Miller has passed for 3,052 yards, 31 touchdowns with only 4 interceptions. Miller has also rushed for 510 yards and 10 touchdowns while leading the Bison to a berth in the FCS National Championship game. Congratulations to Cam Miller for a fantastic senior season.
Congratulations to all of you young men. That is a tremendous amount of work that you guys have all put in. A couple of you guys still have a little bit of work to do. Stats Perform announced a list of 35 finalists for this award, and it is down to the top 3 here that we have in the building tonight. And this is presented to the National FCS Player that is the top offensive player at the Division I FCS college football category. This award is in its 38th season, and it's affectionately known as the Heisman of the FCS. And it's named after the legendary running back Walter Payton, as we talked about, who started at Jackson State and with his career at the college football level. And we talked about some of the past recipients, and the winner is going to go down in history, I think, is also one of those greats. All 13 FCS conferences were represented by a finalist, and the winner was selected from a national voting panel. Gentlemen, one of you is going to be the 2024 Walter Payton Award winner. And without any further ado, I'd like to make that announcement. The 2024 Stats Perform FCS Walter Payton Award winner is Tommy Mellott, quarterback, Montana State.
Tommy, first off, congratulations. What an honor to win this award, to be associated with the name Walter Payton, to hear those previous award winners, some of the greats in college football and in the NFL. What does it mean to you to be associated with the Walter Payton Award now?
Yeah, first of all, like all the other athletes, I'd like to give all the glory to the Lord above. Without him, I am nothing. And we're all winners for what he did on the cross and 3 days later. And to have the opportunity tonight to come out here and be represented as the Offensive Player of the Year for the FCS subdivision means a lot to me. And it's quite an honor and a privilege to be out here with two great, runners-up. And it's just a blessing for sure.
Media outlets have nicknamed you Touchdown Tommy. You have so many accolades this year. Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year, your first team All-American, and you have a chance to win a national championship come Monday. What has allowed you to guide this team to an undefeated season so far?
I think it's a testament to who we are as a program, from our coaching staff to the rest of the players. Certainly, far from just being me. So, we have a great team. We have a lot of guys that love each other. They play for each other. They've worked all off season, all throughout the season, gone through a lot of adversity together, and ultimately put us in this position for Monday.
You obviously look up to a lot of players, and now you're becoming a role model for a lot of younger kids, especially in the Butte, Montana area where you grew up. What is one thing that you hope that those younger kids take away from your game and the leadership that you display each and every day?
The kids back in Butte, just to dream big and to, obviously go after their hopes and dreams. Growing up, it was maybe far-fetched to think I'd be able to play at the Division I level, and let alone to be named as the Offensive Player of the Year now. So it's just to dream big, and hopefully that the leadership is just do things the right way. I've always been told how you do anything is how you do everything, and that's how I go about my business, from the weight room, in the academic side, in the community, and it's all got me to where I am today.
Well, it certainly is a wonderful message, and congratulations once again, of course. Good luck on Monday, and we'll toss it back to Gary.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Tommy. Well-deserved honor. You're going to represent the Walter Payton Award very, very well. We're very appreciative of that, and let's give all these finalists up here another round of applause. Cam and Tarji, great job on your season. Just so you know, Cam, you came in second, and Tarji, you were on number 3 position there. So that's how the voting was. It was close. It was close between Tommy and Cam. So only 16 points, I think, on the voting panel. So that's a very close vote in our panel. So great job. So hey, when we come back, we're going to wrap up this show, and we're going to conclude this presentation of the 2024 FCS National Award. Stay with us. Welcome back to Frisco, Texas, as we wrap up the FCS 2024 National Awards. And Kendra, I'd like to commend you on a great job with your interviews here with these award winners. This is your first year with us with this event. What were your thoughts?
Wow, first, thank you so much for having me. And what a wonderful event to recognize so many amazing young men. And you can also see how important these awards are. Georgia Buchanan coming here, Cherie Kirkland, Jerry Rice. FCS means something, and it's important to continue to shine a light on these guys' accomplishments. And so it was really just fun to be a part of that tonight and learn so many of their stories as well.
Well, you did a great job. Thank you for that. And I do like to thank a lot of other folks here as we kind of wrap this thing up. I'd like to thank our partners, UEN and FedEx, for joining us on this journey. As you hadn't noticed, our broadcast group here is made up of largely students from University of North Texas Media Department. Congratulations for them putting our production together. Thanks to our producer and director, Seth Biley, Blaine Tatum, our producer as well, Stats Perform FCS Awards Committee, and all the universities represented here to support their student athletes. And for Kendra, Sheehan, I'm Gary Reasons, thanking you for joining us to celebrate the FCS National Awards, and we look forward to seeing everyone next year in Nashville. Good night, everybody.